This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Alan Llewellyn, Subcommittee Chair, calling us to order here at 5:31. Under item 2, I'll entertain approval of the minutes from our November 7th regular meeting.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Fredette. Is there a second?
So moved, Jack Delapiano.
Thank you, Jack. Any questions, comments, corrections concerning the minutes? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Item 3, under our town council update, Councilman Poisson.
I don't think anything's come before the town council in the last couple of months. Just to say what I've said the last few months, that the town hall is anxiously awaiting for the project to be totally finished and totally closed out.
All right, thank you for that update, Councilman Poisson. I think that's what we're working towards moving forward here. Aileen, do we have Chris from CREC with us?
No, you do not.
All right. He did tell me he's going to be working from home. In terms of the project financial updates, I know that we did see a report last month. So they are, keeping track with things and moving us forward as we go along here. I spoke with him before, and he did kind of mention that Turner's going through some final paperwork with the various contractors in order to get the project closed out and be able to update us accordingly. So I'll stay in touch with him and see where we're at with things.
Hang
then
on
I know
one second. Alan, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is Aileen. So I have a caller 4, someone who didn't call in. Is that you, Chris Fields?
Nah, it's Bob DiLorenzo.
Oh, thank you, Bob. Alan, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yep.
That's all right. No problem. No problem with that, Aileen. So under closeout updates, I will follow up with CREC and get an understanding of where we currently are in terms of getting things closed out. I know that last month we discussed having the town take over installing the plaque as a means of having Turner finish their work on the project, quickly, as opposed to kind of have them stay with us to install a plaque, which we can either do ourselves or even hire the same contractor who's done all the other work at the high school. So I'll keep everybody posted in regards to that. Brings us to item 6, change orders, amendments, outstanding invoices. Ken, I might need a little bit of help on this if you wouldn't mind, but I believe this is this invoice, Ken, a true kind of change order? Or is this really something we've already approved before, and this is kind of just an action item in order to get the invoice paid?
Yeah, that's all it is. This is just the batting cage. The money was already approved. This is just the invoice we got from the company that just needs to be paid. It hasn't been installed yet. This is just for the cage itself. It's sitting at Stratford High. So they just want to get paid because they delivered it.
Okay, and then this is an item that Turner will install for us as part of the overall project?
No, the town, this is totally us.
Okay.
Yeah, there's money. Yeah, this isn't this 12,000, et cetera, here is.
Hello, this is Chris Fields. I apologize about being late.
All right, hi Chris.
All right.
Yeah, there's money left over here for the installation and for the electric and everything else. This is just for the cage itself.
So do we need someone to make a motion to approve paying the invoice, or we don't even need to do that?
What do we do with all the other invoices we got? I don't know.
Yeah, I think if we've already they're part of allocations that have already been made, we just kind of go ahead and pay them. So no need to change that now.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Fredette.
just for clarification, this is the batting cage that drops down from the ceiling in the gymnasium?
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So before I move on to item 7, Chris, I kind of touched on the project financial update. So just
Mr.
let us know
Chairman,
if there's. Yep.
did
Go
you
ahead.
did you need a motion to approve that?
No, I asked Councilman Poisson if we needed to, and apparently on sort of previously approved expenditures, where it's just a matter of paying the invoice, we didn't do motions on the invoices.
Okay.
All right, Alan, I didn't give you an opinion on that. I just asked what we've done in the past. I just want to clarify, and these people want to get paid, so I don't want to hold it up.
All right. Chris, now that you're on, is there anything that we need to do formally that that you could shed light on in terms of paying an invoice that's part of a previously approved expenditure?
As far as I knew, you guys approved them and then sent them to building needs, and they sent them to the town. I thought that was the process.
Okay. Yep. Then we'll just continue with that. Continue with that process. I'd kind of gone through items 4 and 5, but now that you're on, you can definitely
Wait, so
touch on the.
Chris wants us to approve this then and send it to building needs.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve and forward to the building needs for approval.
I'll second Dan Semp.
I'll second that.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fredette, Mr. Sempt. Are there any questions, comments, discussions concerning this invoice? Hearing
Just
none,
one.
all those.
Hold on, just one. Kenny, so for the installation though, who's responsible for that? You said the town's responsible for putting that up, or?
Yeah, well, Tony D'Angelo, the Stratford High athletic director, he has the batting cage. It's stored at Stratford High, and he's going to get people to install it and hook it up, and whatever else has to be done.
Well, we're not going to get hit with another bill here, are we?
We might, but we have money in the budget here that covered that. We approved the money for the cage itself and for the installation and for the electric.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Ken.
Yep.
One of them had some.
Right. Any other questions? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I would think that.
Hearing none, chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. All right, Chris, that'll bring us to the project financial update, and then you can kind of roll into sort of the closeout update, and that'll get us up to speed and back on the agenda.
The project budget update on the owner's contingency, there's no change. I did not get the updated budget sent to me, so I'll chase that down tomorrow and I will forward it on. And then on the project closeout, with the stage of the project that it's at, what we need to start looking at is the formal process of the project being accepted and then beginning the EDO 49 process.
Okay, Chris, just touching quickly on the EDO 49 process. Of what I know, that's largely a Board of Ed function, but we can definitely kind of work ourselves through the Board of Ed and then just work through the balance of the items and issues on the town side.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah, so we can definitely start working in that direction, whatever preparatory moves we can initiate with that. And then last month we talked about the plaque. Everybody had said that they want to take the plaque on their, have the town take it up under the owner's contingency budget. and that would take it off of Turner's plate. And with that, we were waiting on the final design and change order, which I will send to Alan when we get all the final numbers. But there's you guys will have to make a decision on the location and then accepting the change order that goes with it. That it was a part of the size change with the plaque. There was 3 iterations of the plaque. There was a double, a small, and then now there's one large one.
Okay. But before we kind of get into making that final decision, there's paperwork that's going to get issued to us by Turner, similar to all the other change orders, and there's going to be an option in there with Turner installing, and then another option for just the plaque to be provided, and then the town to take up the installation.
Yep, absolutely. So with this particular meeting coming to an end, understanding the buildings need committee is continuing. If I was able to get those final numbers and documents by the end of the week and send them to you, Alan, do we have to wait until the next meeting, or can we do this because everybody's already agreed that we want to move in this direction? Can we do this with an impromptu meeting before the next scheduled meeting?
Yeah, I would take that up with Councilman Poisson via possibly doing a special meeting with the Building Needs Committee just for that one item. Depending on kind of the complexity of what we are looking at when that documentation arrives.
Yeah, Chris, I said at the very beginning before you arrived that from the town side, Town Hall is anxiously awaiting for this project to be totally finished and totally closed out. So whatever we need to do, when you get the information, I'll send it to Aileen and she'll send out an invitation. We'll have a special meeting. Whatever needs to be done.
I think on that point of whatever needs to be done, the remainder of the project administratively and financially is one, getting this plaque done. Then you're going to have final invoices from SES, Turner, and Antonazi. And I would imagine those going forward in the same manner as we're discussing now when they are ready to be submitted. The Turner applicant final pay app is going to be your long lead item with waiting on MJ Daily documents, getting the O&M manuals turned over, and then their final pay app for review. And as we talked about in the last month's meeting, Turner was talking about March before they think they're going to be complete with their documents before being able to submit the final pay app. And they also still have an outstanding state change order that they still have no update on. And then in the meantime, we can begin exercising whatever steps it takes to get the project accepted by the Board of Ed and then begin the EDO 49 process. That'll kick us off into project closeout, and then immediately after that we can go into audit. So we can run concurrently with a few of these items. That way we're not just sitting around until March waiting on Turner.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Fredette.
when those figures are delivered to you, are they going to be delivered to the Board of Education at the same time by the end of this week?
If I get them by the end of this week, that's one of the statements that I made.
Okay. So if you don't get them by the end of this week, we should see them by the middle of next week at the latest.
We should. We were hoping to see those by Thanksgiving, but they were not able to get the figures finalized before then.
Okay. I think the answer, what I'm doing is at the same time that you're going to forward them to Alan, you are going to forward them to the Board of Education. I believe Susan Hughes is the person over there that is handling it.
I'll follow up with Alan when I get it on who it needs to go to.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, no, Chris, Mr. Fredette's correct. It is kind of Susan Hughes who's sort of been minding the project for us day to day over on the Board of Ed side of things. And as I've mentioned to you before, I know that that Pam Mangini, who's kind of the chief operating officer over there, she's worked on some sizable state, school facility closeouts before. So I think as we
Okay.
start going through this process, we'll have people who've done these before.
Yep, and you're right. We did talk about that. So when we start getting all this these final items in, we'll begin incorporating her. But at the same time, we can maybe ask her as early as tomorrow what the process is to get the project accepted by the Board of Ed, and then how the Board of Ed begins the EDO 49 process to initiate as much of our closeout proceedings as possible, even though we're still waiting on some final pay apps.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a plan. I think as we start moving forward with the EDO 49, I'm definitely maybe we should have kind of a contact with Susan Hughes first, but I definitely want to start engaging Pam Mangini in the closeout. I don't believe our current superintendent has closed out a project of this size and of this complexity before, and so since we do have Pam Mangini available to us, I think it'll be good to keep her informed and keep her up to speed as we go through the closeout process.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Anybody else have any questions with regards to the financial update or closeout updates with Chris and what CREC is doing right now? All right. As we move through what is our last scheduled renovation subcommittee meeting, under item 7, does anybody have any new business that they wish to bring forward? All right. Before moving on, our next regular meeting, for which there is none scheduled, I'll take this opportunity to say now that moving forward, the plan is to keep the high school project as an item on the Building Needs Committee agendas, so that we can continue to talk about the project and go through the closeout process, in conjunction with the town council and town hall. But also wanted to take this opportunity to thank you all for your work, your dedication. I know at times some of our meetings went to the 2-hour time frame in terms of length, and for Mayor Hoydick, Ken Poisson, Dan Sempt, Sean Casey, it's really been kind of a 7-8-year effort getting this done from start to finish. It's been great working with all of you, and I thank you all for your time.
Oh, thank you, Alan, for everything.
Yeah, if I could just comment on, Alan, this is not a small project, and to keep us completely focused and involved over these 8 years was not a small task. And your leadership qualities here have just been unbelievable. And, the town is much better for it. We came in with a budget, and we met the goals that we planned on from the start, and that was due to your due diligence in making sure that this works. So thank you for everything that you've done.
You're welcome.
I
Dan.
agree
Thank
with
you for
Danny
seeing
said, and I agree with Danny said on behalf of Stratford High School, the people that get to occupy on a daily basis, Alan, everyone else on this committee, to those that are no longer on committee, thank you to all of you. We truly appreciate it.
All right, I guess we're down to the end here. Item 9, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll
Thank you,
second.
Mr. Fredhead. Seconded by Mr. Sempt. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, chair votes aye, and we are off the clock at 5:50. Thanks again, everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
If you're on Building Needs, please stick around. We're going to start right away as soon as I have quorum and Aileen is ready to go.
Suppose we don't want to hang around.
Well, you will. Okay,
So-
go. Ready to go, Ken.
We're trying to get things done, Senf.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm going to call the Building Needs Committee meeting of December 5th, 2022 to order at 5:51 p.m. I'm Ken Poisson, 6th District Councilman and Chairman of the Building Needs Committee. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from November 7th.
So moved, Dan Senf.
Alan Llewellyn, second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Item 3 is ongoing items. 3A is Board of Ed buildings. A1 is Stratford High School Renovations Subcommittee. We just had our last standalone meeting. Alan, if you want to give a brief wrap up, because I believe we were all just on that call.
Sure thing. Thank you, Chairman Poisson. As you said, the Stratford High project with the subcommittee has wrapped up its business. Going forward, we'll carry on as an item on the Building Needs Committee agenda. We're going to proceed with formal documentational closeout, both in terms of documents with the Board of Ed, getting through the EDO 49 process, getting that filed with Hartford, and then moving through financials with SES, who was our commissioning agent, Turner as our construction manager, and Antonazi, who led our design team. In terms of work remaining, there's just the obtaining and getting the plaque installed. We do have one item financially that I'm going to make a motion that we send this through Building Needs, approving an invoice to BSN in the amount of $12,804.91. I don't believe we need to send that to council with favorable recommendation as we're under our threshold.
Correct. I'll second that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously.
So moving forward, I'm going to continue to communicate and interact with Chris Fields from CREC, who's going to lead us through the final closeout process. And Ken, I'll keep you up to speed and informed on what we're doing. If need be, we might have to do some occasional special building needs committee meetings to get things buttoned up. But we're looking good, and I'm looking forward to getting the rest of the loose ends tied up and having the project 100% finished. Thank you again.
Thank you for everything, Alan. Hey, item A2 is Board of Ed open work orders. They were emailed out to us ahead of time, as always, to help expedite the meeting. Is there any questions about Board of Ed open work orders for Rich or Danny?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Caitlin.
I believe it was either the last meeting or the month before, because this is it's a new format in sending us the open work orders. I just want to know why, with the 25 pages of work orders that are given to us, none of them have a date of when those work orders were put in, unless I'm reading it incorrectly. I don't see a date for any item.
I'll let Rich answer that.
Thanks.
You're looking for what date?
Yeah, Caitlin said there's no dates on the work orders that were emailed over to us.
Oh, there's a new secretary, Candace, who used to be there, moved on to a different role, and Susan Hughes is back. They have changed up how she sends stuff, but tomorrow, actually, she's out sick for a couple of days, but
I'll talk to her on the phone and make sure she has the dates of when they were entered.
Thank you. That way we can at least track if there's progress or how long they've been sitting on the table.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other questions on Board of Ed buildings? Okay, item 3B is general buildings, the town buildings. The open work orders and building repairs on town buildings was also emailed out to us ahead of time to help expedite the meeting. Does anybody have any questions for Danny on town buildings?
Just on the Baldwin Center, Dan, what's the progress so far?
They're supposed to start on Thursday, weather permitting, and they told us it would be about 2 weeks for the bulk of the work. I guess they're going to load it up with people, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the weather holds up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, item B2 is Booth Park. Danny, is there any updates on Booth Park?
There's really not too much going on right now. We just went through all the heating systems and got everything running, and that's pretty much it for now until, you know, any work orders come in. Not a lot going on there this time of year.
Okay, any questions for Dan? All right, thank you, Rich. Thank you, Dan. Item 4 is new business. Dan, you want to just explain this quickly for us? The
I'm
Nichols.
sorry, I don't have that. I was running around. I don't have that with me. I'm not even sure what's on there, to tell you the truth.
It's just a Nichols school boiler replacement.
Oh, yes. We had gone out to bid for the 2 boilers, and we didn't think we had enough money to do both, Lordship and Nichols. But I think they found the money, so we're going to try to go ahead with both of them.
Okay, would someone like to make the motion to approve and send to the town council with a favorable recommendation?
I'll send it to the. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Danny.
No, I'll make a favorable recommendation to approve this.
Okay, and Alan, you're seconding it?
Yep. Second, awarding to Save More Cooling and Heating in the amount of $376,400.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Dan. Item 5 is our next regular meeting date. It's Tuesday, January 3rd. Obviously, Monday, January 2nd is a holiday, so our next meeting is Tuesday, January 3rd. And as Alan mentioned, the Stratford High Committee is no longer having standalone meetings. It will continue to be an item on our B&C agendas until the project is totally done and totally closed out. And once again, we'd like to thank Chairman Alan Llewellyn for his 8 years of service, along with several other of us who have been there since 2014. Alan, thank you very much for everything.
You're welcome, Councilman Foysan. It's been great working with you. Great to see the facility put into use. I know there's a few things we're taking care of, but nothing's getting ignored. We're not 100% done yet, and we're going to continue working together to get it done. So thank you.
Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Somebody want to second that?
Second, Bob DiLorenzo.
Hey, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Happy holidays, everybody. We are adjourned.